Kids don't forget.
Kids don't forget.
You kids don't forget.
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 Kids don't forget. Kids don't forget.
So Nakier, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. We really appreciate you being here.
Thanks for having me.
So just for starters, did I say your name correctly?
You did.
Okay. So let's hear you say it. Like, if I ask you what's your name, what do you say?
Nakier.
Nakier. Like just like that. Was it mispronounced a lot growing up?
Every day still.
Still. What have you gotten?
Nakier, Nakiria, Nakier. People would just like make something up. Like it's just like all kinds of weird stuff. I can't even think about it. Like most people, I'll say, you can call me Nikki, but like for the people over the phone, I'm like Miss Jones.
Got it. So it does bother you when somebody does.
Sometimes, because sometimes I feel like people are doing it on purpose.
Oh, you do? Really?
I mean, it's like 2 syllables, like nah or nay. Care.
Right.
It's
So if they say Nakier, that's closer
fine.
than.
Yeah, I'm okay with Nakier. I wouldn't correct them.
Okay, got it. So you mentioned that one of your nicknames clearly is Nikki.
Yeah.
What else were your nicknames growing
Nothing.
up? That's it.
That's
Nikki.
it. Nikki. I mean, people nickname your nickname, call me Nick, but I'm Nikki.
Okay, got it. Where are you from?
Camden.
New Jersey?
Yes.
Okay. Any specific neighborhood?
Well, I grew up downtown.
Okay.
On Newton Avenue.
Okay.
Until I was about, I think about 11 or 12. And then I moved to Pennsauken with my dad.
Okay.
And I was there.
Is Pennsauken a section of Camden?
No, Pennsauken is like a different part of New Jersey.
Okay.
It's like right next door.
It borders Camden.
Yeah, like
Got
a
it.
couple blocks away.
Okay.
So I lived there with him for maybe like a year or two, and
Right.
then I moved back to Camden with my grandma on 33rd Street,
Which is where?
East Camden.
All right. So describe your 3 different neighborhoods growing up. So downtown, then Pennsauken, then East Camden.
Yeah. So downtown was we lived in a row home.
Okay.
It was a decent size. I mean, as a kid, you don't really know that you're poor. You just think
It is what it is.
you're just a kid, right? So, I mean, we weren't like the poorest. Like we had money. Like my grandpa and my grandmom, because I stayed there with my great grandmom and great grandpa.
Okay.
They had 2 cars, and they had money. But I mean, essentially, we was poor. The neighborhood was a few older people. It may have been one other set of kids across the street, and then one like a block down.
Okay.
But we didn't really have a lot of kids on the neighborhood. I mean, on the block. Itself,
Right.
On that block.
Any issues? Not really, right? People just automatically think Camden is a war zone.
No,
People who
yeah,
are not from here, you didn't experience those issues.
Well, one time, I don't remember exactly how old I was, but it was like a prostitute got killed across the street.
Okay.
And we saw.
And you saw it?
No, we didn't see her get killed.
Oh.
We saw the body over there.
Oh, okay. Wow, so you physically saw the dead body on the ground. Okay. Interesting. Now you go from downtown to Pennsauken.
Right.
Culture shock or the same?
It was just more kids.
More kids.
It was
Okay.
more kids. It was like a neighborhood full of kids. It was the same block of row houses. The houses were a lot smaller than what I was used to.
Okay.
I moved there with my dad and my stepmom, and then like every house had a kid or 2 or 3 in it.
Okay. Interesting. And then you moved East Camden. What was that like?
Yes. I moved to East Camden with my grandmom, and then I was back to no kids being on the block.
Got it. So no real problems there.
No, not at all.
So your Camden experience and your Pennsauken experience was relatively safe from your point of view. Okay. Were you an only child?
Nah.
Were you the oldest, the youngest, the middle?
Second.
The second, okay. What would you say is the age gap between you and your youngest sibling
My youngest sibling, I think,
that you grew up with?
well, I really didn't grow up. I mean, I grew up early on with a few of my siblings.
Okay.
But when I moved with my dad, him and his wife had one kid.
Okay,
But I left before they had other kids.
okay,
And then when I moved with my grandma, it was just us.
Okay.
Her and I.
so if you are, I'm gonna just throw out an age, 15 years old,
Right.
list out your siblings.
15. Oh my gosh. So at 15, I got a brother that's 20.
Okay,
I got a sister that's 19.
okay,
I got a brother that's 11.
okay,
I got a sister that's 8.
okay.
Got one that's 7.
The baby that just was born.
I may have had a sister that's, I'm trying to think, so.
How many of you guys are there in total?
I got 10 siblings.
You have 10 siblings.
But my dad has 6 kids and my mom has 6 kids.
Okay,
So I'm one from each side, so they give me 5 and 5.
got it, got it.
So,
Oh, okay, got you.
All my mom's kids are 4 years apart.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay,
except for 2.
okay,
They're a year apart. And then my dad, he has my brother Mike, who's 5 years older than I am.
okay,
And then he has 3 other kids that I really don't know how old they are. I think my sister Sade, I might be 9 or 10 years older than her, and then twins, maybe 13 or 14 years older than them.
Okay.
And then Keith, probably 15 years older than him.
so you have 10 siblings, but you were kind of by yourself growing up.
Yes.
Let's talk about that. Like, how
Well,
what was that?
later on, yeah.
Okay, what was that experience like?
It was, I mean, it was.
Were you like the spoiled kid or no?
I was the grateful kid. Because, all right, so I lived downtown with my grandma and grandpa.
Okay.
And my mom, you know, she struggled with her own thing.
Right.
So we were left there with them. So my grandma passed away at 89. So we were left with my grandpa.
How old were you?
10.
Okay,
So we were left there with my grandpa, who financially could take care of us, but physically was not able to take care of us. He was old, and the house started deteriorating. And then my sister, you know, she being 4 years older than us, she like became a mom. So,
Okay.
like she was like the person who had to make the food. She was the one who had to like get kids ready. Like my mom, every so often would have baby, drop it off, and keep it moving.
right,
So my sister took on a lot of that responsibility.
okay.
So I remember that. But
Okay.
when my dad came and
A lot of the interviews I've done, the person was that person. They were your sister.
Yeah, no, I didn't have that responsibility early
Okay,
on.
okay,
But so my dad came and he got custody of me and he took me to his house.
okay.
And I went.
And that would have been the Pensalkin house.
Yes.
Okay.
And I was there with him and his wife and their daughter, and then she had a nephew there.
Okay,
So like I was, you know, also with kids, but it was different. Like
okay.
to me, they were all strangers.
Got
Like
it.
I mean, it's not like I didn't know my dad, but he wasn't like a familiar everyday face to me.
Okay,
So like I was kind of like ripped from my family and put there.
okay, got
And my
it.
dad worked a whole lot, so.
So
I
you
was
barely
like-
saw him?
Yeah, I barely saw him.
Got it.
Because he worked second shift.
Right, right. That 3 to 11, 2 to 11, something like that, that swing shift. So by the time you get out of school and fall asleep at night, you don't even see them.
Right.
Right. So let's talk about that. So based on what you just said, because the usual question I ask people is, did you grow up with both parents? You kind of already said that you didn't.
Right.
Like you were with your grandparents and you were with your dad.
Yeah.
So you never lived with just your mom.
No.
And did you ever live with both parents, your mom and your dad? Okay.
Well, okay, so my mom was married, right?
Oh, your mom was married?
Yeah,
Okay.
my mom was married, and her husband was in the military, and like she followed him around. Like my mom, I don't think my mom got married at 15,
Okay.
and she followed him like around. Like she lived in Hawaii, and she lived in Cape May, and like wherever he was, she followed him. But I guess he got shipped overseas. That part of it, I really don't really know.
Okay.
And when when she came back here, she cheated on her husband with my dad. And
That's how you got here. Got it. So, with that being said, describe your different relationships with your parents. So, with your grandparents, and then with your father, and with your mom. Describe your relationships.
back then or now?
Back then, growing up.
So, I mean, like, I was a kid. I loved my mom. I wanted her. I needed her, but she wasn't there for me. Like, she was kind of like, hey, and like, all right, let me go.
Okay.
So, I mean, like, we didn't have a choice with her.
Yeah, so your mom was like high and by, basically. See her when you see her.
Right.
Got it.
But she was, like, kind of mean, too. But that, I think that was in her addiction. Like, she really didn't have, like, that attachment to her kids that she should have had.
Okay.
But that's just my way of thinking.
Right.
I don't know if that's the honest to God truth with her, but when I moved with my dad, he was kind of, I mean, he was there, but like I didn't feel like he wanted me there, like loved me. Like I don't remember ever like my dad in my younger years hugging me and stuff like that. I mean, he greets me like that now. But like I can't remember him loving, like hugging me or saying he loved me or nothing like that.
Right. Okay. Okay. And how was your relationship with your grandparents?
Oh, my grandma. I love my grandma.
What was her name?
Oh, so you talk about my great grandma. So my great grandma was Alice.
Alice. Okay.
Yeah, so that's the one.
Is that who you live with downtown?
Yes.
Oh,
So
is your
my
great-grandma?
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
So my mom's mom lived in Atlantic City.
Okay.
And my great grandma. So let's back up. My great grandparents raised my mom and her two siblings.
Okay.
So it was, I don't know if that was like a pattern that they just dropped their kids off there and keep it moving. But
Right.
yeah,
It runs in the family.
So my mom grew up there with her grandma.
Okay.
So we grew up there with our great grandma and our great grandpa. It was
Got
Alice
it.
and Leroy.
Okay.
So they loved us, like took really, really good care of us.
Okay.
Really, really good care of us. Like we didn't want for nothing. We didn't, like I said, we didn't know. We had everything. When she was like, the house was huge.
Right.
Huge. And it was like, you ever seen that movie, Lackawanna Blues?
Yes.
That's how our house was.
Where
like, anybody
there was a
that
lot of
needed
people
a place,
there. He grew up around a lot of people.
we grew up around a lot of people.
Right.
But my grandma was a little bit more not you than my grandpa was. Like, after my grandma passed on, my grandpa would let anybody, like, that was a safe house for anybody that needed a place to stay.
Okay.
So, like, that's how we grew up. But when I moved with my other grandmom, she definitely let me know she loved me.
Okay.
She wanted me there.
Okay. And this is your dad. This is your
My
dad's mom. Okay.
Yeah. She wanted me there, like,
And what's her name?
Margaret.
Shout out to Grandma Margaret.
I know. Margaret. Everybody knows that I love my grandma.
Okay. Look at you. You don't even see how your face lit up when
She's like really awesome. Like,
Okay,
She's
okay.
a perfect person.
Explain how so.
Cause she's just like in her nature, she's like giving. Like my grandma, literally every day will cook the Mailman lunch. So when he came,
The mailman?
I swear to God, will cook the Mailman lunch. So when he came to give her mail,
Right.
he had something to eat.
I noticed some people are doing that now. Like all the Amazon drivers, people leave snacks out for them when they come and stuff like that. But it's not like lunch.
I don't do that.
It's not like lunch. Yeah, like
No,
even one of my
she-
neighbors, she left a basket out for all the. She's like, this is for all the delivery drivers. You know, UPS, Amazon. If you come here, feel free to take a snack.
No, that's nice. That's nice. I don't do that. No, but yeah, my grandma.
But Grandma Margaret did. She fixed lunch for every day.
Every day.
Now the weekends too.
No, so my grandma is like religious. So Seventh-day Adventist, we grew up.
So she recognized the Sabbath,
The Sabbath,
on Saturday.
right, mhm.
Got it.
Sundown to sundown is the Sabbath.
Okay.
So now she's like not living in her own house because she has Alzheimer's,
Okay.
and she lives in Sicklerville with one of her daughters.
Got it. You still go see her?
Oh yeah, and every Sunday, my whole family, we do a Zoom, and we be on there for hours.
Okay.
So
Okay. So tight knit from that group. Got it. Did you wind up becoming a parent yourself?
yeah,
Okay. How many beautiful seeds do you have?
I have two daughters,
2 daughters. What are their age ranges?
17 and 6.
Okay. you know who the people who raised you are. It sounds like there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people who raised you. So we got great grandmom, great grandpa, grandmom, and your mom and your dad, or lack thereof.
And I also lived with my brother for a little bit.
And you also live with your brother, your older brother.
Yep.
Okay, so that's 6 total people who raised you, and now you're a parent yourself.
Right.
Compare some of the similarities and differences between all those experiences and their parenting styles and your parenting style.
So I took nothing from pretty much any of them except for my grandma.
Okay.
Like, realistically, I said I wasn't going to do anything that any of those guys did.
Got
And it
it.
wasn't really like my great grandma and grandpa because they were older and like they did the best they could. But I will say that I took the love aspect from them.
Okay.
Because they did love over us. They took care of us, made sure that we were okay. But we were given to them. Like, we weren't their kids. Like, we weren't really their responsibility. So I did take some of that because I wound up, I'm like the foster mom. I take in anybody who needs somewhere to be. So I took that from them.
Okay.
My grandma Margaret is like that too. So I did get that from them. And I don't know if that goes according to my parenting or my personality. But I can't say that I parent like my grandma Margaret parent because the stories that her kids tell me, I'm not like her.
Okay.
Like, I'm like her as a grandma, not like a mother. Like, she used to spank her kids. I would never spank my kids.
Okay.
I'm just like,
You've never done it ever?
I've never done it. I
Okay.
just don't agree with it. I don't think that I can hurt the 2 people that I love the most.
Okay.
Not that way. Like,
Okay.
And then I got 2 girls, and my oldest daughter, she's so sensitive. I can stomp on the floor, and she's gonna start crying. And like, I don't even have to, and they don't do anything that make me want to physically hurt them.
Okay.
So I can say that, yeah, I probably didn't take anything parent-wise from any of them.
That's amazing that
Nothing.
neither one of your kids has ever had a beating.
No, never. Never.
Wow. Okay. Okay.